There are many benefits to grasses in the landscape. They help to add movement, they can add an architectural element or an upright element to the landscape, and then they can also add winter interest, and also they can add food for wildlife. But when we talk about care of ornamental grasses, there's not a lot that we're going to need to do. After we plant and they get established, they're not going to require a lot of moisture or a lot of upkeep. The only upkeep they're going to need is to cut them back in the spring of the year. We let them stand throughout the fall and winter because they add winter interest. They also allow food for different wildlife and birds. There are some grasses that we would like to cut back in the fall of the year. Those grasses that seed very easily or very readily, like the northern sea oats or the pennisetum, both of those can seed into nearby lawns and they can become an issue. So with those grasses, what we want to do is we need to make sure that we cut those seed heads off as they start to become mature, and that will help to prevent the seeds from dropping into the landscape bed or into the nearby lawn. Some of the grasses that you want to let stand during the fall and winter are going to be the Karl Forester, that gives you a very upright element. You could also leave some of the native grasses to allow them to stand tall throughout the winter. And then also we want to leave up some of the large fountain grasses for a little bit of winter interest and a little bit of different element to the landscape. When it comes to our grasses, the more water they get, the more they're going to flop open. So we need to make sure that the grasses get an adequate amount of moisture, but they're not getting too much so they don't flop open during the growing season. Over the fall and winter months, it's common for them to open up due to snow load or possibly even ice loads, and that's common. What we want to do then early in the spring before they start growing is to go ahead and cut them back about 6 inches above the ground level and then remove that excess growth on top.